Hey guys, Greg here, Bone Tactical, and today we're going to discuss what it's like to be an international fugitive here in Europe. And this is a highly requested topic here on the channel. I'm talking in a little bit of a hushed voice because I'm in a public area and we're discussing something a little bit sensitive. And I'm here actually right now in the Czech Republic. As you guys know, I have a little bit of personal experience with the subject because when I was in Germany, I was doing a little bit of traveling under these same circumstances. And it's very interesting because what we've got in Europe is a very great example of a country where borders are pretty much open. So like I said, what we've got is the experience of open borders here in Europe. And what that does is it tends to bring a lot of different immigration and people from different areas. And depending on what part of the European Union you're in or where you're at, you can experience very different cultures, and it can be either very easy or very difficult for someone with these type of restrictions to travel. So definitely check out the Gray Man Theory series of videos. We are here in a really cool location. Like I said, a prison and fortress in the Czech Republic. The other end is a prison. There's areas where people were tortured, and there's just a really cool collection of reproduction armor here, and as well as weapons. Got some helmets over here and some of the weapons behind, and you can see the absolute devastating damage that these weapons could do. Back on the subject of traveling restrictions here, what we basically are looking at is, with open borders, is in order for someone with maybe their name in the system, Interpol or something like that, there's various ways. And like I said, check out my video on being a fugitive and all that kind of stuff, because there's multiple levels of what people are looking for in this case. And as far as law enforcement goes, what law enforcement's looking for and how important you are, how big of a fish you are. So we've got all the way up to facial recognition scanning in airports and stuff like that. When I was here, I'll give my personal experience. I really could have, if I had not came in the airport, traveled very easily and very freely. But you're always at risk for a random altercation with police or normal traffic stop when your name is ran, anything like that, even if you're a very small time. But in my case, I was flagged coming in at the airport and then under surveillance. And really the entire time I was in Germany, and then basically was watched until they decided to take me into custody. But here we're looking at, again, I thought it was a really cool opportunity to do this YouTube video from a prison and fortress in the Czech Republic. And we'll get over here to the other side and show the torture chamber. I just thought this was a really cool little function here where it could be closed if you want to see or shoot out of it. It can be open, right? And then if you're trying to use it for defense, it can be closed. So in discussing being an international fugitive in Europe and what it's like, specifically Central Europe, we covered the fact that it's, generally speaking, a lot easier to move around here. And being that it's a lot easier to move around, anybody looking for you for any reason, it doesn't necessarily have to mean evading law enforcement. I'm only speaking on that because I happen to spend some days in Europe as a fugitive and notice that it really just seemed to be a lot easier than what I would consider the United States. And we're talking European Union nations here. I really think that it's nowhere near as easy, of course, as a third world country, somewhere that doesn't have maybe computerization, everything digitalized, and first world countries really have everything squared away as far as facial recognition and everything like that. But like we discussed, definitely check out the video on that if you're more interested. What I'm discussing now mostly is Europe. And I think one really interesting thing about Europe and immigration is, in regards to this question and what we're discussing, there's really a lot of countries that actually all the countries here really vary greatly. I'll give like Paris, France, for example. Paris has just become incredibly dangerous as a city in certain areas, to the point where they have to have the US equivalent of what would be a SWAT team just patrolling subway stations. And there's gangs, gang activity, and criminals from all kinds of nations, third world countries, all kinds of places go to Paris, France to continue their crime because it's like a fresh start for free. You're going to be kind of just blending in with the crowd in a lot of places. I think Paris would probably be the place that sticks out the most to me and really contrasts to the Czech Republic here, because we're taking public transportation today because it's actually easier, nicer, and safer. Elite level. It's just like any really nice first world country that has great public transportation, but it's more convenient to me even than renting a car. And especially if we're discussing trying to be, gray man, under the radar or anything like that. It's easy to just be in here and move around and not really draw any kind of unwanted attention, or just do anything that you really want to do and just kind of enjoy yourself and have a great time, and not have to be tied to a car, not have to worry about where you park, where you have to find a parking place, not have to worry about all things like that, and really just very easy. So I think this was a highly requested video, and I just am kind of tuning in on the subject of what it's like to have these issues and be in Europe. And I think Europe is just very there's a lot of freedom of movement in Europe. I feel like that we don't even experience in the United States. Everybody thinks US is so much freedom, but I experience so much more freedom of movement here in Europe when I'm in Europe. And I really think that even if you have some restrictions, that it's even easier to move around here. And that's kind of the whole story. I hope you enjoyed. Definitely leave some questions and comments below and let me know what you want to see more of in this case, because I'm kind of just going around here right now, and we just finished up a little shooting course over out in the country here in Czech Republic, and we're doing some of the most highly requested videos on the channel right now. So definitely your feedback is how I know what videos I should produce next and how I keep these videos coming. Thanks for watching. Bone out.